everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I created this makeup tutorial using the Colourpop X rawbeautykristi palette. You guys know from my previous haul, I bought it like in December, I think. So I finally made a makeup tutorial using the palette. So yeah, this is what I created. If you want to stick around and see how I did the look, it will be like in the next footage or so. Also at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you my thoughts and what I thought about the palette from the shadows that I used and everything. Basically just a quick review. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So just stick around and see how it goes.
Okay, yeah, so let's get started. So first I'm gonna prime my lids with the Too Faced concealer. So by the way, all the names will be down below. I'm pretty sure I'm the shade Butterscotch for this one. So you just wanna put it all over your lid. This is gonna act as a primer. It's really good as a primer, honestly. I highly recommend it. And I'm gonna set my eyes right after with the Mercier translucent powder just to put on top. I find it gives me like, it kind of takes off the tackiness, so it blends better when you're doing your eyeshadow. So I'm gonna use the Versailles palette, and I'm gonna use my big blending brush. I'm gonna use the shade Puffball to put in the crease to define our crease. This is gonna act as our transition color. It's a really nice shade. Honestly, it doesn't show up too much, but it's a nice like wash of color. Honestly, it's different. It's a different kind of undertone from what I usually use, but it's really good. So next I'm going to take a smaller blending brush, and I'm going to use the shade Fiddlehead. I'm going to put it basically on top of the shade we put before. We're going to define our crease even more. This is going to use as a base for the green we're going to put right after. So just put it on your crease. Make sure you basically blend it really well. Don't worry too much right now. Just trying to place the shadow and then blend it. And that's all you need to do for now. So next I'm going to use a more dense blending brush. I'm going to use the shade Emerald City, and I'm basically going to pat the shade on. So basically place your shade on first wherever you want to put it. So me, it was really mostly in the outer corner and then all over my crease. So yeah, and right after I'm gonna blend it with my small blending brush that I've used just before, and after I'm just gonna put it a bit more of the Emerald City shadow on top, just because when you blend sometimes you kind of lose the intensity of the shadow. So basically you want to pat it, yeah, put your eyeshadow, blend it, and after just add a bit more to bring it up to the intensity that you want. So next I'm taking my bigger blending brush, and I'll go a little bit in the shade Puffball just to blend the outer corners to make everything look seamless. I did go ahead and cut my crease with the same concealer that we used before, the Too Faced concealer, and here I'm just blending the cut crease with my outer corner. I'm going to take a shadow brush, and first I took the shade Evergreen to put on the cut crease area basically, but I thought it wasn't showing too much, so I went ahead and used the shade Fiddlehead and put it all over my lid with the same brush. It doesn't matter, honestly, just to have some kind of a base so it looks more. So when you go and use the shade Evergreen, it's gonna like look more effervescent, more like glittery, I guess. It'll be more intense. So yeah, I'm just using the shade Evergreen, put it on top. I did change my brush. I used a more like a smudger brush because I find it packs on the shade even more, so it look even more bright. And don't forget also, you can always use your fingers, of course, because it just brings like the effervescence of the shadow even more, the brightness of it. So here I'm just blending the outer corner with my lid color just to make sure everything is well blended. I also went ahead and used the shade Evergreen to brighten up the inner corner, just to make it a bit more bright to really bring up those eyes. So here I'm just taking off whatever fell over, and I went ahead and did my base. So next I'm going to use the shade Emerald City with a smudger brush to smudge the under eyeshadow. So basically on my lower lash line, really just smudge it. Don't make it as bright as you want. For me, I go all the way from the outer corner to the inner corner about, and I really smudge it in there. After, I take a small blending brush and I take the shade Fiddlehead to make it more smoky basically. and also to blend the upper lid with the lower lash line so everything looks seamless and well together. So next I went ahead again, the shade Evergreen, to put it in the inner corner and make it a bit more bright. And I went ahead and took just a black liner. This one's by Colourpop. This is the shade Swerve, just to do my waterline with a black liner. For mascara, I'm using my Nars Climax mascara for my lower lash line. I did use this one for my upper lash line also, just so you guys know. It's really good. You guys will see I have a small review on it at the end of the video. And after, to remove my bake, I used my MicroSmooth powder by Sephora. I find this one is like really good because it really smooths out wherever you might have bigger pores. Also, it's nice. It takes off your bake without leaving a white cast, so it just like blends everything together, your bronzer, your blush if you already had blush or whatever. Here I'm using my blush palette by Morphe. The two shade that I use will be down below. I don't remember it right now and I don't have the palette right near me. And I'm just applying it with a Real Techniques brush. It's a blush brush and I really like this brush. It's really good. For my highlight, I'm using my Master Chrome highlighter in Molten Gold by Maybelline, and I'm putting it in on my nose. I'm putting it on my own nose, on my cheeks, yeah, for a brightening effect. I'm also going to use just a little bit in my inner corner, just to brighten up the inner corner a little bit more. Just add a bit of a gold effect into the inner corner. I thought it was really nice. After, I'm using my Nicole Guerrero palette. I'm using the shade Glow Getter to put on top of my already existing highlight that I already had done before, just to make it more bright and more glittery, I guess. For my lips, I'm using the shade, I think it's the shade Control, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave it down below to line my lips. It was my first time using Colourpop lip liners. I would say like they're really smooth and really nice. And next I've used my Kat Von D Bow and Arrow Everlasting Liquid Lipstick to put on top. And after, I'm using my Soft Matte Lip Cream by NOX in Abu Dhabi. I just have to say, I actually don't like the lip combo that I have right now. You guys are gonna see. I'm gonna put the real one that I have in the intro and the outro. You guys can see I don't like it in the intro and outro, so you guys will know which is the actual finished lip combo. So here, just me like finessing it, and yeah, and this is the finished look.
Okay guys, so that's it. That's how I created the look. So just a quick review of the palette. You guys saw I use mostly like this shadows here. Actually not this one, just these 4 shadows here. Honestly, it's really good. It's almost like I'm not sure. You guys know I have a lot of Colourpop palettes, but I find that this formula might be a little bit more smooth, to be honest. But it's been a while since I had like a new palette from Colourpop, so maybe they just changed the formula altogether, or maybe it was because of her. Either or, it doesn't matter. The formula is great on this palette. All the shadow like performed like really well. This one, Emerald, what is it called? Emerald City. Honestly, on the palette, it looks a bit more blue, but once I put it on my lids, you guys can see it's like really like a nice forest green. I was actually scared of using that shadow because like those kind of shadows they just don't look good on me because of I think the blue hue. But this one was so green, so it just looked like so beautiful on skin tone. Yeah, it just performed so well, and it was so easy to blend. You guys have no idea. Usually, I feel like whenever I put like something that's really pigmented, I have to go back and forth, like packing it on, blending it, packing on, blending it. But honestly, this time it was just like I packed it on, blended, packed it on a little bit more after, and it was like already the shade that I wanted it to be. It was really easy to use, and it just blended beautifully. Honestly, it's just like there's nothing to say really. It's just like it's good. Like it's really good. The only thing is, also I will say the Evergreen shadow, it's a bit, it's not that it's not pigmented, it's a bit like if you want it, it's better if you put like a base on under, because I feel like it brings out the shade or the effervescence like even more, like the sparkliness of the shadow even more. So that's why I put like that other shadow under and then put it on top, because I find it wasn't showing like as much as I wanted it to show. But it's such a beautiful shade. Like it's just like, I don't think I've ever seen something like this, but it's like it doesn't matter. You can use it alone as like on top of a base, and it's just like so beautiful. This is what I use so far. I think I'm gonna do another makeup tutorial using like those shades here a little bit more. This shade actually scares me a little bit because this is the kind of shade that like on me it just goes patchy, and it's like I don't know how to use them, but whatever, it's another story. But as for the palette, it looks really like it's really good. It looks really good. I mean, it's beautiful. That's all I have to say. I also use a new, like I wanted to mention, I use Climax, the Nars Climax mascara. It's amazing. It's so good. It's really good. It kind of reminds me of my L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. I'll show it to you. This one. It kind of reminds me of this one. It's so good. It's so black, and it just separates the lashes like really well. But it is more expensive, so just keep that in mind because it's NARS, obviously. And also, I used for the first time my Born This Way multi-use, what's it called? Multi-use Sculpting Concealer. You guys know I'm in the shade Butterscotch. It's so good. Like, it's really good. My under eyes are brightened. I don't know if you guys remember my haul. I was afraid it was going to be too pink, but it's really brightening. I'm not afraid of that anymore. And also, like, it just smoothed out my under eyes so well. It was crazy. It looks so good. You guys can see I'm still, like, I'm pretty highlighted under my eyes. And it's not just my setting powder. It's that too. It's that good. And also, I use some of the lip pencil. I use BFF3, BFF4. It's not as dark as my usual pencil liner. You guys, it's pretty rich, pretty warm. So if you guys want something more cool tone, it's not necessarily the shades for you. Like for me, I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, because I like something more cool tone when these ones were really like chocolate brown and warm. So just so you guys know. But yeah, going back to the rawbeautykristi palette, it's amazing. I know there was a restock like a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, whatever, on the 21st of January. It's already sold out. Maybe they'll have more. I don't know, but if you guys can get your hands on it, you won't regret it. It's really good. Honestly, that's all I have to say. So yeah, just let me know down below if you guys have the palette, what you think about the makeup look, and if you guys want to see another tutorial using the same makeup palette, and I'll do that for you guys. And yeah, that's it. So thank you to everybody who likes, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.